Welcome to Black Love Matters, where this serves as a therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
loving each other,
and find our inner Brock and Michelle.
or Jay-Z and Beyonce, or how about we're going to go with Florida Evans and James Evans. Y'all, we watched Good Times on, what was the, we got a Roku. It was the Roku channel, Nero?
Yeah, it was the Roku channel.
The Roku channel. First of all, it was amazing. Like, I know Good Times and all that good stuff, but y'all know I stopped watching Good Times for a minute because when I was working at the bot store, during the morning hours, every time I come in, the overnight crew will be watching like marathons of Good Times. I'm like, I cannot do this. But on this Roku channel, we watched the very first episode. Then Nero was half asleep. But I didn't realize Michael was being his best Pan-African hotep self. Like, I always knew Michael was down for the cause, but I really didn't realize he was down for the cause because I think it was his sister came in, or his mom, or JJ. One of them came in and was like, "Oh, Michael, we got your mail." It was like Black Panther Weekly,
Right.
SNCC. What was it? The ACLU. It was like all that I never caught before. It was amazing. But overall, this damn Roku channel, is that what it is?
Yeah,
now?
it's the Roku channel.
It had Unsolved Mysteries on there, old school from the 80s, y'all. I was in it. They had Barry White concert and Roberta Flack in concert. The channel was lit.
Yeah,
What'd you think about the channel?
The channel was dope. You know, I didn't think it was going to be that dope, but because, you know, it's so much, I wouldn't say trash, but there's so much noise you got to go through on Netflix just to find good stuff, like other than like the typical, like, you know, HBO To Go and, you know, Showtime and all that stuff. But besides that and like Hulu and Netflix.
Oh, you mean the Roku app near them?
Yeah.
Oh, you said Netflix.
Yeah, but what I meant is that there's with the Roku, there's so much noise you got to go through just to find like decent stuff.
Channel, yeah,
like just to find a decent channel that when you do find one,
you be lit, don't you?
You be lit.
So the Roku channel is my new favorite channel. They had Good Times on there from the first episode. It was another black show they had on from the first show too. I forgot what it was, and I was here for it. Anyway, who is you?
I'm Nero.
And I'm Nayam.
And this is episode 114, y'all.
114. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. How was y'all weekend?
Hopefully good.
Yeah.
Your weekend was good.
My weekend was good.
As always.
And we're going to talk about it. Well, as always, be sure to leave a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and on Stitcher. And follow us on that Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Black Love Matters. Remember, that's Black with no K. You got check in?
My check-in, of course. I'm rolling on, I shouldn't say no days off, but I'm rolling on stints. And Nero don't like when I do this. When I'm working like 6 or 7 days straight and then get a day off, work 6 or 7 days and just get a day off. And I'm a type of girl, I really need 2 to 3 days to fully recover. Like, I need 1 full day to rest, 1 full day to go out, have fun, run errands, and then 1 full day to kind of like prep and regroup for the week. So like do grocery shopping, pay bills, meal prep, clean my house and stuff like that. And so lately, when I'm only having 1 day off, it's like I just choose one of those things to do. Have you noticed, Nero?
Yes.
So I'll either just rest, or I'll be like, Nero, let's go out, or I'll be super productive. Like, there's no way I'm getting all the stuff done. So I need to find a little bit better of a balance for that. Because I know Nero does not like when I'm in that area, do you? Why you say it like that, baby?
Because Neroms.
So I'm trying to find my balance because I'm just trying to hustle up at the bot store right now and just make a little piece of coin. Like, you know, now I'm really just focused on my coin, like, and really just stacking and getting my savings account back right. You know, like, so I've really been hustling. So if they ask me to work, my answer has been yes. When normally it's like, oh, I see y'all in 2 days. Also this weekend we got a visit from a friend, right?
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. It was just good to catch up with him, to just have conversation with folks who are like-minded, and also to know you're not crazy, right? So sometimes I'm like, am I really on some revolutionary crazy shit? And to have conversation with folks will be like, nah, sis, you ain't knowing it. You just vocalizing it more. That's all. So it was just good to catch up with him. And, you know, we just had conversation on like financial, generational wealth. What is wealth? Finances, you know, navigating with crafty colonizers and nifty niggas, and just, you know, our real conversation here, I don't know if he was down here for all of it, was really this idea of community. And, you know, we as a people, we say we want this community, but sometimes we don't want to put the energy needed in to truly form a holistic community. You don't think? What you think?
Yeah, it
takes time.
It takes time, energy, effort, and sometimes, you know, when you're dealing with nifty niggas and crafty colonizers, all you really want to say is, fuck this shit, I'm going home.
Yeah. and sitting in my bed. So we really just had a conversation about community building and wealth building, and what is our ideas of wealth building, and really having the conversation on like, wealth isn't, I think we talked about this before. It's not the symbols, right? It's not these symbols of freedom. So symbols of freedom, meaning fancy cars, jewelry, clothes, like those are symbols of freedom because you're truly not free. You're not liberated, right? But this idea of wealth and it being generational. So I want my grandkids' kids to be okay. Or how do I set it up so they don't have to worry? I think, Niram, you jumped in on that conversation. As y'all know, Niram worked with a startup with a young white boy, right? Early 20s. Made his first million by 21. And we kept saying, so how do we instill in our kid, not only having the financial resources for them to have something to start on, right? But how do we create or help cultivate them to be fearless, right? Because that's what you said he was, right? You have to be fearless to do some of this shit. And how do you cultivate that? In your family, and that's why we went back to the community pieces. And it takes a village to do that. Like just one or two people can't do that. But it was a good convo. What'd you think about our convo?
It was a good convo. I wish I was able to be.
Did we be on 10
when
when we get together?
Yeah. You get all the revolutionary minds together, and sometimes you just want to be like, can we just play a video game and sit and be quiet?
Because me and this room, we be gone. Okay. And then speaking of course, while he here, we drinking brown liquor. Y'all, I woke up with my first hangover in my life today. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm not a hangover type of girl. I'm not the only thing I overindulge in is food. But when it comes to like alcohol, like that's not me. Like I'll have maybe 2 drinks?
Yeah.
Maybe 3 if I'm feeling, saucy. But I'm never the one. Nero, have you ever seen me drunk? Like
a few times.
Oh, shut up, Nero.
In the 12 years we've been together, absolutely.
I'm going to need a receipt on that motherfucker, okay? Well, I'm not the one to like get drunk. Like that's just not my style. I don't like that loss of control. It's not something that feels good. And I usually definitely know my limits, right? Because I just like a little taste to get you a little buzz, make you a little smile, make you warm, and keep it moving. But we were drinking Dr. Pepper and rum, and then like these margarita type things, and I was fine, right? I woke up this morning. I couldn't even see straight. I said, "The devil is after me." Am I just getting old? Is that the problem?
Yes.
I couldn't, like, it was so bright in the damn room. And of course, excuse me, Niram up at the crack of motherfucking dawn.
Well, it's daylight savings time, so,
and I'm like,
time to move
it's
fast.
Like 6:50 in the morning. We just went to bed. Why are you up? And Niram, like, he don't wake me up, but he wakes me up. He reminds me of a newborn baby or like a puppy who'll be like, oh, I wonder if she up. Okay, I ain't gonna make no noise. But Niram start turning in the bed, moving the covers, slamming the doors, going to the bathroom, I said, well, damn.
I can't use the bathroom?
Niram, it's a way to quietly go to the bathroom. Niram slamming down the toilet seat.
That's a lie.
The wall. I said, what?
You are over-exaggerating. I can't let you do that.
Anyway, I woke up, like, and I'm still suffering. Like, this evening in transition to, like, nausea. Like, I was nauseous. Like, I was nauseous, and all I could do was sleep the whole afternoon. So I didn't get into that house of the Lord. Niram wouldn't even drop me off. I said, just drop me off in the front of the house of the Lord.
No, you didn't ask me.
I couldn't even get dressed. I did ask you.
No, you didn't, because I would have dropped your ass off.
No, this fool told me I got to get in the shower. I said, just to drop me off in front of the house of the Lord?
That's a lie.
So
Receipts, please.
You said what?
Receipts, please.
So that threw me off a little bit. Y'all, was that a hangover, or did I just eat some bad food?
No, you had a hangover.
Because I'm still not feeling good. Hangers don't last 24 hours.
Yes, they do.
From 3 drinks? That has to been out my system by now.
No. Sometimes a hangover can last your ass a whole day.
That's crazy. So that's what I'm battling with, y'all. But this nausea, I'm like, why am I nauseous? This is crazy. Anyway, at the end of that, I'm revamping my diet. I don't drink.
Not the nigga don't drink
After
no more.
today, I was like, no, God. I think now I'm straight. I just do wine. Like, you can give me a nice, cute red, rosé, or white wine. But y'all niggas can keep hard liquor. Because if it do you like that, I don't want nothing that treat me like that. So y'all, why are you laughing at me, Nero?
Because you are ridiculous.
It is. I was like, oh, this not normal. Because I didn't drink excessively. Nero did say I was buzzed because I was arguing with him about charging a car, but we'll talk about that later. And lastly, hopefully this week I should hear about this job. The end of this week, maybe early next week. Oh, it's going to be a long 7 to 10 days, y'all. I just want to know yay and nay. So y'all keep me prayed up as always. Like, I'm very excited about this opportunity. So, send me good energies. Tell your grandmas, your aunties, all the praying folks in your family that Nyambi could use a couple prayers.
Niggas with third eyes, open them bitches up.
Go ahead, Nirams.
So let's get back to this drinking in Nyambi's.
I don't know what's wrong. I think I'm sick. Y'all, if y'all don't hear from me in a week, go get Niram. You can try to pull
lies you tell.
If y'all don't hear from me no more, Niram did it.
Because first of all, I was bartending.
Because he doing well.
No, I was bartending.
Yes, you bartended. That's why I'm telling him to go after you.
Let me tell my truth. I'm bartending, so I done made Nyambi's cute little drinks because I know how Nyambi is. She light in the ass when it comes to drinking. So I'm just making it, half, quarter shots, and then I turn around. Here comes Nyambi, pour half a glass full of brown. Yes, it was full of brown liquor. And I'm like, that's too much. That's too much. So all of a sudden,
what Nyambi say?
I can handle this, nigga. I'm grown as hell. I do what I want in here. And I'm like, Nyambis, you not about this life. We ain't about this life no more. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to, my queen.
Go drink that rosé and sit down. Right. Go drink that sangria.
Drink a glass of wine and sit your ass down. Because sangrias. I was drinking and it's like, ooh, I got a little headache. Let me...
We haven't drank in months, though.
Yeah. I'm like, I got a headache. Let me sit my ass down, drink some water.
Yeah.
That's why I usually just stick to that white. That I gotta have distilled shit. I need shit that's triple and quadruple filtered and shit. Yeah. Because that brown liquor to get your ass.
Yeah, we got that dark rum.
So, exactly, we got dark rum. So, our homeboy leave, and then me and I don't even know how in the hell we get on this conversation. Oh, I know what it is because we was talking about,
we was manifesting
manifesting, California and things of that sort. And I was like, well, if we move to California, I'm getting a Prius. I'm taking my truck back and I'm getting a Prius. And then we started going down. It's like, well, is there a fully electric car? I'm like, yeah. It's like, well, I wonder how do they charge it? Like, because you see like these Tesla ports like at the mall or whatever. She's like, well, the nearest Tesla port is at the mall. So how do you expect me to drive to the Tesla port and park my car there and charge it? I'm like, no, Nyambi, you can charge it in the garage.
First of all, don't do that near me.
Yes.
Act like I'm slow.
Yes, you were acting very slow. So Nyambi asked, having this conversation, no Nirams, you can't do that. So you saying the same plug I charge my iPhone with, I can charge my car? Yes, baby. No. Let me talk slow because I might be a little tipsy and I know I talk fast. So let me say this again. Nirams, you telling me you can charge a whole big ass car
in the same plug?
In the same plug I charge my iPhone is. Yes, Nyambi, you just got to charge it over. I don't believe that shit. I need receipts. So you know what Nirams do.
Because I thought you have to get some type of converter or something put in your garage so the shit won't spark and go to hell like White Daddy died from.
Because that's all Nyambi kept talking about. I'm gonna be like White Daddy. I'm not gonna be charging my cars. So I go on YouTube. The first video wasn't the best example. So I found another video and like, look, Nyambi, the dude said standard plug. Look at the plug. I don't believe that shit. And then here comes Nyambi's. We gonna have to go on a date to one of these car companies. So I need them to tell me. Nigga, I just told you.
I want to see it in action.
I just told you. You plug it in in the garage and it charge overnight. That's a waste of time. So you saying I gotta... Nyambi, what's the matter? You get home at 5, 6 o'clock. You put it on at you charge it at 10 o'clock. You straight. So that was the conversation we was having last night, and the shit was just hilarious.
No, whatever.
Yes, it was. Other than that, like we had date night. It was a restaurant week here in White Ass,
restaurant week,
New England.
That's a huge tip. If y'all don't go out to dinner a lot or you're looking to try something different, look for restaurant week around y'all city. Just Google restaurant week and put in the city, and it's amazing. Like, you can get a bomb ass dinner for like $20 a person.
Absolutely. So we didn't went to restaurant week. And I'm like, baby, we got reservations.
Yeah, because I got from the bot store, and then I'm like, you ready? I said, for what?
I said, I got reservations at 5 because I know how you be. I have a reservation at 6. Nyambi don't want to leave the house.
Yeah, it's still late. We just eat this peanut butter and jelly.
And
Did you like the restaurant?
Yeah. So, Yeah, I got a steak. So
You
it's a
vegan, right?
steakhouse.
You gonna
I
speak?
am veganish, but
Oh,
when you at a steakhouse, you do what? You do steak
I'm
things.
sure they have great salads.
It wasn't on the menu. It was not on the menu. So with everything going on, we really haven't had a chance to like do like a whole bunch of date nights like we used to like every week. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and find a 5-star restaurant. They got the restaurant week, and we just gonna eat good. And nigga, we ate good.
Oh my god, it was so good.
I had dueling fillets. Nyambi has this big ass slab of salmon. The drinks was lit.
Yeah,
Everything about that experience was good.
and I didn't have a hangover from that drink.
No.
Dessert was good. We got some bread pudding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just the whole experience was really nice. That was a nice little. It was nice to get dressed up and go.
Yeah, and then we went to go see Wrinkle in Time, which we'll talk about in our
Oh
Pillow
yeah,
Talk.
we sure did see Winkle in Town. We'll talk about it in Pillow Talk.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in Pillow Talk.
Yeah.
But also, like, just as far as like updates is, you know how we was talking about like deferred enjoyment and things of that sort, and I'm just taking my own advice and just moving forward with my own dreams. You know, one of the things that I just been getting serious about is like my health and fitness journey, inspiring my community, and just making sure that everything I want to do, I do, and I find ways to be successful in it and make money from it, make a living from it. So one of the things that, I always tell like Neil and Nyambi is that I want to run races, ride races, podcast, do some public speaking, and make a living from that. So whatever I need to do. So I'm taking a step out, and I had a YouTube YouTube channel back in the day. I'm revitalizing that one for my fitness community, so I'm excited about that. But also just trying to figure out the best way to be the most efficient with this, because one of the things y'all don't know about NIRMS is that I get a little obsessive when I get into this mode.
Yes.
So obsessive. Like
I go
deep. I go deep. So just trying to figure out the best way to not be obsessive over the journey, because sometimes I really think that I'm more addicted to the journey than I am the end goal.
You are.
Because I usually get like depressed after I like accomplish something.
That's a huge conversation. I forgot maybe it was the friend zone talked about that. But a lot of people get like that. So once you accomplish a goal, then what?
Right. So
now that's when I'm lit.
Exactly.
Hell, I'm still accomplishing stuff from 10 years ago.
So that's the thing. Like whenever I accomplish a goal, like I said, I'm more enthralled in like the journey, starting fresh and just going and learning through it, that I get super depressed like after I can complete it. Like I remember when I ran my first marathon,
oh my God, it was horrible.
And like afterwards, like I was just looking around like I don't know if I even want to run anymore.
And Nyambi, okay.
Nigga, you just spent 2 years of your life training for this shit. You talking about you don't want to do this shit no more?
Yeah.
So just trying to figure out ways to work through that, but also get past like this obsessiveness, because sometimes I can be so obsessive with it that I'll be in my head and I won't produce something. So I'm giving myself a limit to be like, all right, I got another week to do as much research I need to do, put all the pieces in place that I need in place and start producing, and then adjust as we go on.
And I'm even being a good Nyambi and not even bothering them as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, that's enough. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where we're yin and yang. So Niram will research and do it. And I'm more like, well, I'm just going to go with the flow.
Right.
And I'm going to go with the feeling. Like if Niram's like, Nyambi, do a YouTube page, I would just turn my phone on and start talking.
Mm-hmm.
However, Niram is going to learn the best practices.
Yep.
Titles, keyword. I'm not going to do any of that shit. I'm going to hit record and hit submit and dare somebody to leave a raggedy ass comment.
Screw that. Because me, when I put something, I want it to be the best representation. So if it needs...
Wait a minute, Niram. That will be the best. That's the best I can do in that moment. Nigga.
The best representation I could give. So yes, I am looking at keywords. Yes, I am looking at lighting and filters and recording that magic hour and shit like that. So just going through that and just trying to work through that. And I figured that will be a larger conversation, because I can't be the only one that's addicted to the journey. And like once you get to the goal, you get depressed.
Maybe Wednesday we'll add it to our pillow talk. Because I'm the opposite. Like, I really like to chase goals. Like, I like the goals. I like this. I like the celebration. It's the Leo in me. I like the celebration after.
Yeah.
Sometimes the journey bothers me. The in between, like even what I'm going through now, this in between time, fuck that.
Yeah.
And everybody like, oh, enjoy the journey. You get to do. No. I want to get to where I'm supposed to be.
You see how Naomi be? I don't want to do no more learning.
What?
And I'm like, baby, this is a learning experience. There's so much you can learn from this. I don't want to do no more learning.
All set. Like we told Desi. All set.
All set. What else? Y'all see that Sterling K. Brown on
what is his
SNL?
name now?
Sterling K. Brown.
I don't know what I thought you said.
Sterling K. Brown. He was on SNL. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, he was decent on SNL.
Yeah.
Because, I never see him as a comedic. Like, I see him as corny, not comedic. But he did pretty decent.
He did.
The scene that took me out was when they redid the Black Panther one.
Oh, yeah.
And they had I don't know what his other, that must have been his civil rights black ancestor that was barbecuing. Everybody else in their beautiful regalia. He'd put a sweatshirt on top of his and he, what is he, flipping burgers and shit? Yeah. Cracking up.
That shit was funny. And then other than that, just practice self-care, which meant for me, sitting in the house funky. Jesus. I work out, be funky. Yeah. I just sit around the house funky. Like, I'm very ripe. I'm going to go get in the shower.
Oh, my God. Soak in it. Put a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and Epsom salt to help pull the impurity and bentonite clay to help pure the heavy metals in your body.
It ain't no heavy metal. But sometimes, the thing is, I'm going to put on my public health hat on, is that...
Niram, do not defend that deodorant.
No, let me... My deodorant do work.
It
so
does not.
Naomi look at me crazy because I use this natural deodorant.
It doesn't
like,
work.
I don't like aluminum things of that sort. But also, like, in the modern age, like, we too clean. Uh-huh. And this is where all these super bugs and shit be happening in that. So sometimes...
That's why you had the flu for a month, because you was too clean.
Yes, I was too clean.
Oh.
So sometimes...
He ain't gonna get you this month.
No, sure ain't. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you got to let your body flora just gain back and grow back on you because you be so clean. You got to let that bacteria get back on you, that healthy bacteria. Because you be so damn clean, it don't even be fighting off.
You talking like the colonizers.
No, I'm not talking like the colonizers. This is real life. Okay. Before the modern time, motherfuckers only took showers, 2 or 3 times a week.
I think that's the colonizers.
Okay.
I think my people got in that river daily.
Where the receipts at?
Go ahead now.
So, and that was my self-care. I was like, I'm not taking no shower this weekend.
Oh, my God.
My natural deodorant got a 24-hour limit on it.
I was like, are you just... Never mind. I ain't going to do this.
And I said, I'm just going to do what I do.
I said, you going to get in my sheets?
Yes. They don't need to be washed anymore.
I said, just burn them.
They do not need to be burned. Just... And yeah. I think the last time I took a shower was
okay, Nero.
Date night.
This is my God. That's why we've been in different rooms the whole week. Every time I come in the room, Nero leave out of it. I'm like, where you going? Because I tear them down, honey.
You're funky. You smell like salami. What?
Making my eyes water.
Whatever. It's been times you've been funky, and I just
that's because when I'm sick, I believe it. Come on, all right now. What else we talking about?
That's about it. We got some pillow talk.
We giving TMI. The listeners gonna send us care package with deodorant.
Hey,
and Dr. Bonner's, which is my favorite soap, honey.
Well, send Dr. Bonner's and that what is it called? That tie stick.
What is it?
I don't know.
Toxic?
That crystal tie stick. Crystal salt stick.
The salt stick, the Tide deodorant, the purple one.
Yeah,
that do work decent.
I know it do, but you just can't.
I don't know if that salt good for you. You know your blood pressure.
It's on the outside of my body. Baby.
So now you're telling me things can't seep in your pores? We was just worried about aluminum.
I don't think salt can seep into your pores.
That you're talking very crafty.
Ain't nobody talking crafty.
Come on, let's talk about Atlanta.
Okay, what we got going on in Atlanta?
I thought Atlanta's amazing. Like I liked the first season, but I think I love the second season. Mm-hmm. Like it's just giving me life. I think you said in Niram that it was so many subtleties in this episode or in this season that sometimes you got to rewatch it to catch everything. So I think the first time you watch it, you get all the superficial stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it is some undercover stuff on there. So, to talk a little bit about it, not to give everything away, this episode focused on like this credit card, gift card scam with their friend that they stand with. And of course, Ernest come up on some money. And the guy see it was like, why don't you go ahead and get something to me so we can flip some money on a credit card and buy you some new shit. And so he was like, I don't know about that. And the guy was like, well, I'm about to go to the mall and use this card. One of the gift cards you can use in any store in the mall. You want to roll? And he was like, okay. This fool goes shoe shopping. And Ernest with them. And he talking. What that fool start saying? Well, I'm about to
No, because Ernest had asked him, so do they take the gift card here? And he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk out.
Oh, yeah. Ernest was like, yeah, you going to use the gift card here? He's like, I don't know. He was like, well, why are we in here? He said, oh, I'm just take these. How Ernest be looking like, what the fuck?
They don't have a no chase policy.
Meanwhile, here come Nyambi, the store worker. Hi, can I help you with anything? And they're like, no, we good. And the nigga say loud as day, they got a no chase policy. So I'm going to just walk the fuck out. And he just walked the fuck out that store with the shoes. Coming from the bot store, that is true. You come to my bot store. Well, first of all, Nyambi ain't chasing shit. Even if it was the rule, I'm not. No. But it is like, if you just keep walking out the door and keep straight, they not gonna come after you. There's not so much they can do. They might try to like pull on your clothes, like touch your clothing or something. But if you just keep going straight at a nice pace, they're not gonna catch you. Because the thing is, if they end up touching you and catching you and hurting you, you can fucking sue the company.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I agree because I worked loss preventions at a box store too.
Yeah.
A few years back.
I think loss prevention at bot stores are useless.
It's just like TSA, really. It's a false exhausting. It's a false safety.
Put it this way: our loss protection person at my bot store got the gout. What the fuck he gonna have? He came in one day leak, and he always at the front with me. And he came in. I said, "Hey, so and so, how you doing? What's going on? You limping? You hurt yourself?" He said, "I got the gout in my foot and my one of my disc in my black back slip." Well, fuck, sir. What are you gonna help here? What are you going to loss and prevent here? What prevention of losses you going to stop?
Nothing. Most of the times, and that's the thing, most of the times the cameras don't work and none of the stores, none of that shit. So,
and the thing is, our person that's ahead of him, first of all, this is another T, our loss prevention team is a total of 2 people. The senior boss and then the one with the gout. And the senior boss is a white girl, look like she's from the trailer park, but maybe went to school. So she is just fascinated on just moving up in the company. So she be on 1,000. So much on 1,000. You know what they do in the loss prevention in our store?
What?
Like lead press on nails and mascara. Because I guess some college girls be stealing. They have all these things with like these magnetic holders on the top of them. So every time they come through, we have to take it off. Me, Nyambi, I said, well, if I was going to steal it, I'm not a thief. I'm not going to do that. But why wouldn't I just cut that off?
Right.
Like, that's not a deterrent of
No.
And I was like, maybe it's some shit I don't know. Maybe it's my time on the block. You just keep on walking, right? But it was a trip. And what else? Why Paperboy can't fake it for the white folks?
Oh, my God.
For the whites.
This is Paperboy.
So what did he do? So say where he was at, Nero.
Where was he at?
I would say it's like an Apple Music. That's what I mean. It wasn't Apple Music, but it reminded me something like that, a Spotify or a Tidal or Pandora.
I was even thinking like an NPR Tiny Studios type thing.
Yeah, that's what. It was a white tech firm.
Yeah.
And it looks like he was doing like sound bites for them. Looks like they was doing some type
Promos
of
and
sponsorship or
ambassadorship
ambassadorship for them.
Yeah.
And as soon as he walked in, he knew it was some bullshit. And the thing is, he seen this other rapper that they always talking shit about, and he was there all upbeat and shit. And you see Paperboy was like, "Hey boy, how you doing?" And at the end, I guess they have him do like a concert.
Yeah.
In the actual office. And so he seen the other rapper that he don't like. He all engaged. He on top of the table. He got everybody singing and dancing. It's Paperboy turn. And this nigga basically go in the middle of the office. It's like a bullpen of offices and cubicles. And he go in the front of it and the music drop. If they could get the music going to begin with. And then what he was just like, Paperboy.
Where my niggas at?
Is my niggas wave your hands in the air. He's like, fuck this.
He just walked out.
Wasn't it too much? But I knew it was going to be bad when Ernest came in there with a damn near floppy disk.
It wasn't a floppy. It was a CD.
Basically.
And it's like, oh, this is high tech.
This is the most high tech.
We don't have CDs. Can you email it to me? You got a flash drive?
Yeah. Then he was like, oh, we'll play it from your phone. And he was like, okay, send it to the Bluetooth. And Ernest he had him look at it. He said, email it to me because I guess his phone old as fuck. And then they emailed the file to him and only paid for 5 seconds. It was just freaking hilarious because he did what the Yahoo commercial.
Yeah.
And Paperboy was like, this is some bullshit. I hate this nigga. And Ernest was like, this is amazing. Speaking of Ernest, can we talk about he went to Princeton? Did I miss that storyline?
I think they mentioned it
Ernest
very
is
briefly.
A Princeton graduate?
I don't even know if he graduated. I think he went to Princeton. I don't know if he dropped out.
And he on this bullshit. Like, I knew he was touched by white hens, but he touched by Ivy League white hens. Can we talk about that a little bit? Yeah, if mom, your parents, you don't want these school. Yeah, your ass might can't come back home.
What you say? Your ass got to go live in that
in the storage unit. Yeah, you're gonna have to figure it out. Because I'm like, where Ernest know these white boys from?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he know these white boys from.
Yeah, Princeton.
Come on. And then last, you want to talk about that paper boy who got his weed?
Oh my God,
his weed man robbed him.
You know what? So you know it's robbing season.
It's
so
season.
I'm assuming somebody gonna get robbed in every episode.
Something, right? And I think we're gonna eventually get deeper. So I know we're talking about superficially, but I think we're gonna start getting some deep shit, right? Like mental, emotional type robbery. But you know.
So I knew something was going on. So Paperboy in the back seat with his weed man giving out money and shit like that, and the dude was just acting mad sketch. You know, asking where. So anybody else with you? Your homeboy with you? Who with you? Yeah. And next thing you know, this nigga pulled out a gun. And then my thing was, I think here's the comedy of it. It's like, I'm sorry, man, but I really need this money.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay you back.
Oh, shut up.
You know, actually, give me your car keys because I don't want you to drive after me.
Yeah. He kept saying most stuff.
I'm sorry, though.
Can I get a picture with you?
Can I get...
Can you sign this album?
You know, I know you're going to make it back, man, with that song you got on the radio.
And then he had to be like, and Paperboy was like, nigga, I ain't making no money. That's why I'm here. And that's when me and Niram start having a conversation. Like, how many people are like internet famous, but they poor as hell?
Yeah.
That's how like the influencers like on YouTube and Instagram, that's how they must feel when people are like, oh, that's what's up. But they poor as hell.
Absolutely.
That's why any day when folks be like, you want to be rich or famous? Rich.
Absolutely.
I prefer you don't know me.
So even like that's one of the things I battle, like going through this journey and things of that sort. And it's like, being a runner's world and like all types of other press is like, you got to figure out ways to leverage this shit because it's like a flash in the pan. One day it's here and the next day it's gone.
Yep.
And that's one thing a lot of people don't talk about. It's like, yeah, you get the fame, but unless you really got the big bucks, or I mean not the big bucks, but the large followers, and you're not really playing the smart game. So having, I think I was even reading this manifesto, like, you know, the 1,000 true fans. So, you know, having fans that's willing to pay or give you $100 a month, or, you know, something like that, like where you got these true people that's you know, helping you stay afloat, but you also giving them the content they need to feel satisfied. So,
like it's an investment, right?
Yeah, it's an investment. It is. So it's very interesting because, you know, at the dumbest, when you dumb it down, like, oh yeah, you know, you can get free product and things of that sort, you know, by being a product reviewer on YouTube.
Well, products ain't gonna play the light bill.
No. So, you know, the thing is just trying to figure out like how you can monetize that. So you can see that like through Paperboy because, you know, me and Nyambi had to pause it. Like, you know, this is some real shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is some real shit about being internet famous or quote unquote famous in the hood, and like not having no money based off that so-called fame, and everybody think you got it. And it's like, nah, dog, I ain't got shit.
Yep.
So,
yeah, he was speaking some truth. Absolutely.
And then other than that, it was just a lot of other shit popping off in Atlanta. One of the things, I am going to rewatch it because it was just so much. The nigga is brilliant.
Yeah.
Childish Gambino, Donald Glover.
Mr. Glover.
Childish if you're nasty.
Okay.
The nigga is, whoever's on his team, these niggas are geniuses because like the subtle shit, like even like the facial expressions Paperboy be making, like the subtle shit that come out their mouth, be like, what the fuck?
Oh my God. It's so nigga like.
Yes.
It's like if the Boondocks was almost real. It's just amazing.
And it was just some stuff I just want to rewatch because like it had happened so quick. You'd be like, what?
Or like even how they slid in there the guy who was doing the credit card scam was going for the interview in them waves.
Oh yeah, I gotta let these bake, man. I gotta let these bake.
Gee, that nigga got that hair process. Nigga
got finger waves.
Them finger waves. Like he done got 360s. But everybody knows somebody on the block who love them waves and keep them do-rags on, right?
Right. So yeah, what else we got going on?
So let's talk about how to get away with scandal.
Okay.
I don't have a lot about how to get away with a scandal I did. I told y'all about Cyrus' ass. If he give up his black baby, he'll turn on you. I knew soon as Cyrus gave up that black baby that it was no returning from it. Because I thought he loved, what's her name, Sasha?
I was going to say Bella. Stella,
Sophia.
Bella, something.
It's one of them slave names. And I just knew he couldn't do it. So to give a brief summary for y'all, not to give hopefully too much of away, Cyrus, he getting lit because he said he want to run for office, all this good stuff, allegedly, after Millie done. And it was, I take it to be equivalent to what the correspondence dinner that we have currently. So where all the folks come and the presidents kind of give a roast.
Yeah.
And Cyrus was like, okay, I'm going to put my foot in it. I'm going to do this really well. And then Millie was like, change your plans, bitch. We going to let Jake Ballard do it. And you take your ass to some summit and talk about piracy or some shit. And Cyrus was like, hell to the no. Don't you see Jake trying to set my monkey ass up? You putting Jake in the limelight. Jake trying to do it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, fast forward, they get on the plane and somebody hijacked the plane. Meanwhile, on the ranch, Olivia is trying to bond with her mama. I love her mama, though. Livy, baby. Oh, my. I think her name is Candy something. I freaking love her to pieces. And I guess it's her mother's birthday, so she got her like her favorite dinner and just trying to be a little namaste. She done turned off her phone and her mama done checked her to say, hey bitch, what you want? I said, damn. Even when she said that, I was like, she can't bring you dinner, sis?
Why are you here?
Or yeah, she's like, it's your birthday. She said, who birthday? Your birthday. And of course they had a back and forth banter and like, bitch, if you want to give me a real gift, give me one of them fancy ass coats you got, a one-way ticket to Paris and some coins, and leave me the fuck alone. And of course, mama started reading her for filth and saying, bitch, this not even my birthday. And you know what it is. She said, I don't have so many aliases, ho. I don't know what day, this day the Lord has made. I don't know. Every day is a birthday. Every day is a holiday. And of course, that update upset Olivia. And of course, she stormed off. And that's when she turned back on her phone and see all the shit hitting the fan, right? So Cyrus' plane been abducted and they trying to figure out how to get it down. And Jake and Melly ear saying, hey, bitch, shoot that motherfucker down. We don't know who hacked it. We don't know what's going on. And then Melly, everyone stop, in her true white feminist form. I need to figure out what's going on. So now Melly side-eyed and Jake like, damn, maybe Queen Cyrus was right. That motherfucker shady. Maybe he is trying to kill Cyrus and this bitch. And of course, last minute, that Quinn and them figure out how to go in the system and stop the hack, and the plane able to land. But the tea, spoiler alert, sorry, is allegedly, it wasn't said, but Olivia gonna start playing Pictionary and connect the dots and Clue.
Like she Rain Woman and shit.
Yeah, like she Rain Woman, because they've been calling her, but her phone was off. But she was playing house with her mama, who was reading her for filth, and was like, Queen Cyrus. So sis, what was the goal of trying to play your own death? I was like, I knew Queen Cyrus was on some bullshit. So allegedly, Olivia's, hypothesis is that Cyrus set all this up to put him in a better place to be president. And she's like, but bitch, you got 7 more years. And Cyrus said, oh bitch.
Who
that? New phone, who this?
Who?
New phone, who this? Who said that? Because I'm not waiting 7 fucking years.
I'm impatient.
He said, I'm impatient in this motherfucker. I done gave my black baby up and done lost my husband. I'm going to be the motherfucking president. And then, Olivia, what is that plan, Cyrus? And he said, hey, bitch, you excused. Have a good night, Liv. And so that's kind of what I in there. But that just got me to thinking 2 things. Me and Red Baron told y'all ass to watch Queen Cyrus. He just been too nonchalant these last episodes, ain't he, Nero? He been on his white man plotting. Secondly, Millie is stupid. Because she kept calling Fitz back and forth. And here gone Fitz still want his dick stroked. You want to know what I'll do, Millie? No, I don't want to know, Fitz. Come on. Would y'all stop playing on the White House phone? We got real shit going on. They playing on the phone. Thirdly, what I had to talk about, I had to unpack a little myself that I felt triggered. This was the first time that life moved on without Olivia, right? So I can sense a little in her eyes that she was like, damn, these crafty colonizers done figured out some shit without me, right? So that's why I really know it's the beginning of the end of Scandal, right? Because usually before, folks can't make a move without Olivia.
Right.
But shit was able to move on without her. So that situation was resolved, right? Olivia was able to handle her own shit and the world didn't implode.
Right.
So I think it's something to be told that, especially as Black women, I know we always say we're nurturers, we want to kind of take over the problem, but this was the first episode that Olivia was not at the forefront of solving the problem. Don't get me wrong. Sis came around back, Rain Man Day ass, and like, Cyrus, I'm on to you, queen. But she was not at the source of that. I thought that was something to be said about that too. What you think, Miriams?
I think so too. Yeah, you can really tell like the season is wrapping up.
Because I was ready for somebody to die. I said, "Oh, we about to take Queen Cyrus out the game."
You know, it'd be
all
like,
right, Shonda, I'm ready. Blow the bitch up.
It'd be like American Horror Story.
Ryan Murphy would kill everybody.
You know it's about to wrap up when everybody started dying and shit. Like,
Ryan Murphy,
we only got 3 more episodes in this season.
It'd be like da 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 da. Ryan Murphy started killing the whole crew. Mm-hmm. Ryan Murphy starts killing the whole crew.
And I know, you know, the viewership on Scandal is definitely starting to lose, but this has been like one of the better seasons.
I think so too.
You know, of Scandal, especially in the past. But also, what I would like to see in a perfect world is that Olivia has like a recurring role on How to Get Away with Murder.
I could rock with that. Because I keep saying I want Olivia to get back to basics. Like, I'm hoping that's how the episode season ends, where she's getting back to basics. She done found her happy, right? She has a little bit of a balance. Because I know she's going to be a working woman and want to do stuff, but I want her to find a little happiness. Because can we talk about Mama Pope and the Queen Gaslighter?
Oh, she a gaslighter like
Mama Pope is a gaslighter.
Olivia, you want me to talk to you
and rub your back
and tell you everything's going to be okay?
Oh, bitch, I raised you better than that. God damn.
God, punch you in the throat.
Yeah, but I will say what Mama Pope did, what all Black mamas do. They can't be satisfied on their birthday, can they? I don't know a Black mama who ever happy on their birthday.
Nope.
Even if you try hard as the child, it don't matter. You be trying to get them a gift, ask them what they want. They still gonna find something to be like, all I wanted to do was rest and do this. I just can't have no time for my Jesus. So what Mama Pope did, all Black mamas do. They be making you feel bad. But I just also appreciated just how Olivia, everybody's lives went on without Olivia being Captain Save a Colonizer. Like, I was just like, finally some niggas can figure some shit out.
All by themselves.
By themselves. Lastly, Abby, redhead. She needs to speak to Sister Von Zant. Because, what's his name? David Rosen? The white hat. That white man love her. But she been hurt so bad, beloved, that she can't receive love.
True that.
And I'm not kind of there for that storyline. Even at the end, he was like, I only ask you to marry you if I want to lose you. So sis, we talking about commitment here? Like, what are we? You killing people. You killed the vice president of the United States. Like, you involved in these huge international schemes, right? But bitch, you can't make a commitment or make up your mind on a commitment?
Nope.
Oh, sis. Get out of here. Get out of here. I can't take it. What else you thought about Scandal, Neil?
Other than that, I thought it was a good episode.
Yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Now, How to Get Away with Murder, I let Neil take that because I really don't know what happened.
We're still trying to figure out who killed West.
That's so why did it take so much?
So it looked like
is that the purpose of this episode?
Yes, to figure out who killed West.
I forgot that was the purpose of the damn season.
Yes. To figure out who killed West. And what came out, long story short, long story less long, is that Laurel mama called Laurel daddy and told him that West is going to the police. Yeah. And then what he do? He handled it. Other than that,
wait, are you crossing back over the Scandal? It's handled.
He
called Mama Pope, and Mama Pope came through in the spot.
He handled it. Yeah. Other than that,
that boy woke up.
Yep.
That little is it Indian, Middle Eastern boy? He woke up.
That boy woke up. And he losing his brain, don't know shit.
His mind. You say his brain.
He losing his brain, mind.
Yeah, he couldn't go on no trial for me. I'm like, child, he done got shot in the head. I don't know what he's saying.
So he trying to figure out what the hell is going on, and shit like that.
And Ernestine, his lawyer, to begin with.
My thing is how he was like, what's that? The boy name? Not Asher. The gay boy.
Yeah. I don't know his name.
The computer geek guy.
Yeah.
Simon.
Yeah.
No, I thought Simon was the guy that was
the geek. Oh, that's the one who I know you're talking about the Asian boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did I come out to you?
Oh, child.
Do you love me? What the hell is this shit?
That's how you know when you're on your deathbed. Some of that shit don't be matter. It's love. When you're on your deathbed to work, he wasn't talking about promotions at work. He wasn't talking about schools, achievement. He talking about, did I come out? Is you my man?
Do you love me?
Do you love me?
So, that's pretty much all what's happening. Everybody going back and forth. Simon don't tell nobody, and
at least his lawyer,
Yeah.
and it's like basically we gonna turn his ass. He gonna shut the fuck up.
mm-hmm.
I need Annalise to get on vacation though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looked tired in the eyes. That's what Ernestine told her. With her old fickle ass. I'm starting to think Ernestine, not Ernestine. I'm combining the land and all this. Steen is a nifty nigga.
Yeah, she is.
Cause she real fickle. She real fickle back and forth to me. All right, that's all I got. I'm sure, like I said, I know Red Baron gonna do a better job, but I never know how to summarize How to Get Away with Murder because it'd be moving in the timeline too much.
Mm-hmm.
But Scandal was it. Like I said, my pope was that gaslighter. I'm glad Olivia is no longer being Captain Save a Colonizer. I'm just happy for all that.
Okay.
All right, Nero. You're more of the creative. We gonna talk about this Wrinkle in Time.
Yes, let's do it.
We went to go see Wrinkle in Time.
Spoiler alert, niggas.
I mean, it's
I'm
a
just
book.
saying.
It's a book.
I know. I still got to put that shit out there.
Oh, I guess some niggas ain't read the book.
No. If you like me from DPS, you ain't read no book.
I mean, honestly, you can see the whole movie from the commercial. If you just study that 2 minutes, you got the movie. You don't think?
Yeah.
After seeing the movie, you be like, oh, it was the preview was the movie.
Pretty much. God damn.
But all right, now we went to go see Wrinkle in Time, and we went to the fancy theater with the reserved seating and the huge TVs and the walls. And I'm glad we went to see it because it was visually beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
So let's start with that. What was the things you really liked?
Just going back to it looked so pretty. It's an Ava DuVernay.
Yes, that's just her signature.
Classic. Everything shot in magic hour.
Yeah.
You got,
no blue light on black people.
Yeah, exactly. You got orange light and red light on black people.
Yeah.
Oprah Stone eyebrows is all in place.
Oprah played herself.
Yeah.
A god. Omniscient.
Mindy Khaled had her Fenty Beauty on.
Yeah, Mindy was sharp.
So,
I thought Mindy was was bringing fashions.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was so pretty in this. Like, her makeup was sickening, like all the purples, like everything, her hair. She was sickening. Reese was cute. Oprah was Oprah, but I thought Mindy came through with it.
Yeah, she did.
We talk about them kids.
Yeah,
Should we give a summary of the story or no?
You can. I don't really.
It's like How to Get Away with Murder for you.
Yeah.
Wrinkle in Time. I think I already gave a summary of it, but it's about this young girl with her brother and this other guy, kind of her love interest. They go on this journey because her father and mother are like physicists, and he's studying like how you can kind of, the idea is time is not linear. You can kind of bend it and fold it to get to not only time, like our dimension in time, right? Because we believe time goes like straight ahead, like either backwards or forwards. He believes time can kind of cross dimensions, right? So he created some shit or frequency where he jumped dimensions, and he went into this dimension and he never came back. So everyone around him thought he just went missing. He ran off, that type of stuff. And in return, his daughter just was acting out, just being real shady and stuff like that. And from there, they start on this journey on finding their fathers. And that's where Oprah, Reese Witherspoon, Mindy Kaling, like they're these all-seeing witches and gods and stuff like this that help them on a journey. That's basically the summary.
You did good. You did good with that.
What do you mean? I've seen the movie and I read the book.
Oh.
Okay, now continue.
I would just like to say I fell asleep.
Niram, how we gonna be like it's a good movie? But Niram always fall asleep. So when Niram say he falls asleep in the theater, that ain't no shade to the movie or A. Niram falls asleep in every theater. Like it could be a horror movie, and Niram will start snoring.
It's something about, I know y'all judging me, but it's something about being in a cool, dark place, no matter what time it is. And you got the seats that lean all the way back. And I just get so damn comfortable. I put my coat over me like a little cover.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. And it'd be a little chilly in the movie theater. It'd be just the right temperature to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Because I like to fall asleep in a cold room.
Yeah.
And that's how I be. And I usually fall asleep. Every movie I feel like have that low when you think about the hero's journey, where, you figure out who the hero is and then they go through whatever battle they need to go through, internal battle, to get to the other side. The part when that catalyst where you figure out who the hero is, and the conflict and between them finding that inner power to move on and fight whatever we need to fight. That period in between there, that's where I fall asleep at.
Every movie. And the thing is, y'all, he just don't fall asleep. He starts snoring. And of course, he's snoring a lot, the quietest part. There ain't no many brown people in the theater. So we the only niggas in the theater, and he is calling the damn halls.
I was sleeping good too.
But what I will say, it was a great movie to go see it. What I would say, it's cute for the kids. So I think I don't think this was our core audience. Like, I don't think Ava made this for us, right? So I always keep that in mind and knowing the audience. I don't think we were the core audience. It's definitely for a younger crowd. But like I said, it was visually pleasing and it was good conversation, right? So I think it was good conversations for older people, but also with kids. So the biggest conversations I like to pull from it was like kind of your purpose. So the thing is, the way that you can kind of move through these times dimension is that you almost have to be very clear with yourself on who you are, what you serve, what you're doing and moving forward. Like if you can't connect with that, you're not able to travel. What they call it, teaser?
Yeah, tesseract. So
tesseract, whatever. That's what they call it. That's just traveling.
Tesseract.
And that's how you know that I'm old. I was like, why didn't they just say teleport? Why we had to create a new word. But it's children, so you create new, different vocabulary. So to be able to tesseract, you have to be just very clear in your purpose and who you are, right? So I think that's a good leeway, have conversations with kids around you or just shit, you and your partner sometime to be like, what do you believe is your purpose? Where do you feel most confident? And how do you channel into that when you're going through tough times? Because that's the biggest thing. Because the baby girl was angry, right? Angry because her dad left. She didn't know why he didn't come back. People talking shit. Mama, little brother, they too nonchalant about, like, she just didn't feel connected, right? And there was a lot of self-blame going on. So I thought that was huge. And then also the idea of the it. So the it is what they call. It's kind of this bad. I wouldn't even say it's not even a character. It was bad energy, right?
It's the hurt, shame, defeat, negative energy.
Yeah, hurt,
despair.
shame, defeat, despair, which is something I think was really huge to talk about. So how do you talk about this with kids? And the idea that this energy is powerful if it travels. So it looks for areas where there is no light, air quotes. So meaning light is where you're firm in your purpose, you're being kind, like, what I'm saying? You're just navigating, through your world. When you lose sight of that, that's when the it or the darkness takes over. And in that, we'll give a little spoiler away. She got a little adopted brother that came with her, motherfucking Charles Wallace, who deserved the Academy Award, who's super fucking smart. He started reading everybody for filth. He started acting like he was the co-host with Von Zant. You dope fiend manipulator. Just talking to sister. You just pissed because daddy gone. Get over it, bitch. Like, basically, and you just reading everybody up and down. So, and I just thought it was just a good conversation on talking about being, not bad is not the word, but choosing, maybe we didn't have to talk about a negative form. Choosing kindness, right?
Yes.
So it's really so hard to choose kindness because kindness is free. And that's something that we should give out constantly to everyone. And really asking yourself and challenging yourself to think, why am I not choosing kindness in this situation? So where is the darkness, or where is this pain, despair, hurt? Where is this coming from within me that I can't choose kindness or light?
Right.
Because when you choose kindness and light, that becomes contagious. And then the next person's kindness, and that's when you create this world, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of, air quotes, better people. So that's really what I, got away from it. What you think, Nirams?
I think so too. Like, I see.
Like, you got real talk themes in it.
Yeah.
Real talk themes in it.
Because you got to really think. It is a children's movie. It's a Disney movie. So
yeah, so you don't add Disney to it, honey. They ain't playing too much.
So, with the Disney, there's some overgeneralization. Yeah. It has meaning, but it's not super deep or anything like that. And that's one of the things you got to get. So what I would say, yes, it's a beautifully done Disney movie.
Yeah.
There were some points in it where I wish, when they was teleporting and shit, that
tesseracting.
Tesseracting.
Yeah,
tesseracting.
I'm just very confused on that plot. I think that's my only critique. Ava, can we get more clarification on this? Because I'm even a little confused. And that's what I'm saying. If I'm confused, the children got to be confused. Because it's like just coming to with the frequency. I don't know how to frequency my body.
Right.
What you mean frequency?
Vibrations.
I guess I can't tesseract.
No, you ain't tesseracting, baby.
I thought I was clearing my purpose and a kind person.
No, but I think that, but also knowing that for a lot of people, and I think this is where I was getting at Naomi. I said, y'all church folks ain't gonna get down with this.
Oh wait, I love the Lord, but the black churches, they ain't taking their kids to see it. They ain't taking Sunday school to this. No.
Nope. Cause they talking too much futuristic shit for them.
Yeah. Why? Well, what do you think was the biggest thing why the church folks ain't gonna like it now? That or Black Panther?
I think, when you start talking about teleporting and this metaphysical shit, and not talking about, you can do this without blah, 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 blah. And, motherfuckers be like, oh, hell no. Fuck. Fuck that.
I love the Lord.
I love the Lord.
I love and serve
so
the Lord.
I can see how people be like that. But what else? The other thing I just want to say is that, it had meetings. But I think that the main thing I just want to instill is that for most people, you're going to be going there for the visual effects.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Like, it's just gorgeous. It's like an Ava DuVernay classic.
Yeah.
And like she pulling out all the stops when it comes to like that.
Yeah, she maxed out CGI.
Mm-hmm.
She went to Pixar like, I need all of these colors.
Yeah.
Immediately.
But as far as like the story and things, it's cute for the kids. It's cute for, dialogue and starting up dialogue to, what I want to say. For example, like the kid and her father left, so talking about traumas and, things of that sort.
Yeah, talk about that, Niram. So a funny part was, of course, they found, I guess funny ain't the word, but they found their father. So the girl and her adopted brother and a friend. But the young adopted brother, he kind of got engulfed by the it. Mm-hmm. And the daddy was like, shit, we got to leave his monkey ass. We leaving.
We going to leave him here.
I can't lose both my kids. So come on, let's roll.
We going to test her out of here.
Yeah, and then the girl was like, I ain't leaving my brother, but can we talk about the father-son relationship? We was like, fuck that nigga. Where did that come from? That surprised me.
Look, save yourselves,
Save
niggas.
yourselves.
Get the hell out of here.
He said, I'm going home. He gonna let his son stay there.
Yes, I'm getting the hell out of here.
He said he'll be all right.
His ass here with the it.
And you know what else got me?
What?
That I think is another subtle conversation piece is this thing about careers or just the way you think about yourself and being ahead of the curve, mm-hmm. and everyone not being ready for you. So you remember where the mother and the father was first presenting this idea to their colleagues, mm-hmm. and they basically laughed them off the stage,
right? But
they were really on to something. Mm-hmm. So I think this movie also reinstills that point, right?
Yeah, because sometimes you are ahead of the curve, but sometimes you just can't listen to what motherfuckers are saying because if you do, it's a wrap.
Yeah. So I got that vibe. So as I say, it's some things in there, mm-hmm. that I think were good. Like, I think if I was a parent or if I was taking some kids, like, I would be really intentional when I would go. Like, I would go and then maybe go out for like ice cream or dinner or lunch after and really have a conversation with your kid, or a younger person and see what they're thinking. Hell, even just with your crew, mm-hmm. and really think about that. Like, I really had to put back in perspective this idea of kindness. Like, I really was a few years ago, I was really on this idea of kindness, but really connecting back to, that and the idea that it's free and that you should continuously give out kindness, and kindness is not an action, but it's who you are, right? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where you act from, and it just connected to me on that.
Yeah.
Anything else about A Wrinkle in Time, Neroms?
I think that was it. I think people should go see it. If y'all niggas is there for Black Panther, definitely be there for this, because Ava is there, and just be prepared to be thrilled.
Did he say thrilled?
Yes, be enthralled.
Visually, yeah.
Visually.
Like, pay the extra. If you can go to an IMAX, pay the extra money to do IMAX.
Yes.
I think it'll be good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but no, it's a kid movie. Mm-hmm. But it is the theme. It's funny you bring up Black church folks. Was it you who said it, Niram, that some Black church folks didn't like Black Panther because they ain't like that we as Black people go to our ancestors for answers instead of the Lord?
Yeah.
I said, you better be careful with that.
Because that's what they said.
You better be careful.
Look, he ain't go see the Lord. He went to go see his ancestors.
Come on.
They ain't for that.
All right.
You know they ain't for that.
They ain't for that at all. You want to have our last little conversation about, I found an article.
Okay.
And it was talking about leaving your past behind and the importance of doing that and how to do that. And I just wanted to have a quick convo with you, Niram, and the listeners out there to get your viewpoint on it, because I'm someone who thinks it's hard to leave the past in the past sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like, I think physically saying it is, I can do it, but I think emotionally, it can be hard for me. So the article kind of begins that we all have things that haunt us from our past. It can be uncomfortable feelings that leave us more devastated than when a new problem occurs because you blame yourself for an event or action in your past. But unfortunately, these self-defeating logics may dictate that you are the common denominator of your life, and that it seems to be all your fault, even though it's not, right? It's much more productive to think of yourself as a product of your entire self and not just the past. If you only look at the negative things, then those negative things can become part of your personality. And then they may keep you in an emotional bind where life becomes more difficult than it needs to be. So the idea of holding on to this pain is normal, but it's not. But it's also normal to let it go after a period of time. This can be really hard if you were like abused as a child, or just had some really traumatic event happen to you. But unfortunately, some things, if they continue for years, they can become you, and then you look at the world as a scary place that isn't somewhere that you want to be a part of. Right? It's not fun. You don't really want to engage. So that's why I thought this was interesting, Niram, and to have this conversation. And the author actually gives some tips on how to move forward through it. So the first thing that you need to do is totally get honest with yourself and decide who you want to be. So even though you may be victimized, you don't have to remain a victim. It's one of those, how do you say it, internal discussions that you have to really have. Yes, it's what you went through that changed your life and made it different, but it's not who you are. So it's really about reimagining your life, what it would look like, and not seeing yourself as a victim or, instant. I always see these things when I talk to people about this. I always relate it back to sometimes things happen to you, but not purposely, right? So it's not directly people. It's behaviors, not people, right? So this thing happened to you, but this is not who you are.
Right.
What do you think about that, Nero?
I think it's real life. You know, as a person who has experienced multiple traumas and go through, you really have to realize that it goes back to like it's nothing personal.
Yeah.
And just knowing that it's not personal, it was just the action.
Yeah.
It might hurt, it might sting, but when it comes down to it, I just keep going back to like it shit can be literally worse.
Yeah.
Like the ultimate worst is your ass can be dead. But shit can be literally worse than what that you really are going through. And I think a lot of people hold on to this shit and get angry, and myself and included. Like I used to be a very angry individual when it came to this shit, because I was just holding on to shit.
Yeah.
And nobody told me like, well,
let that go.
You gotta let that shit go, man.
Yeah. And the author kind of went on to just say, imagine if you didn't see yourself as a victim or bad in some way, right? So just being able to, even if when you meditate, pray, journal, just sit with these thoughts for a few minutes. And these thoughts will reveal that you really are okay, and that it never was your fault, and you are good enough, and you are lovable, and you're able to jump through hoops to get people to like you, right? So you can bounce back from everything, right?
Right.
And they go back to saying the old saying, those who don't learn from the past are condemned to repeat it. And this is not true, right? So look, you won't repeat your childhood. That can never happen again. But you can take a step back from life in life if you think that you experience some of the same pain in different ways. And stepping back from life can help you form kind of the greatest gift and the healer that we can. And that idea is love, right? So how do you grow through the experience you have to learn through it and really create love from that? So I just thought it was just something that was very interesting. And the author then goes on to say, it's super difficult for everyone burdened by the past pain to let love in, but you think, because you think you're unworthy, or you'll pick people that are bad for you, or just kind of repeat it. But it's that idea of working through that fear. And if you don't release that fear and that pain, you never can, make your way out of it. And I think this is something that we don't talk about as the community a lot either. So past trauma, like I know we talked about family trauma, but how do you really leave what happened in the past, what happens in the past? Especially when we have this culture of constantly punishing people for things that they've done in the past,
or constantly punishing yourself. So I think even going back to because we was just watching Von Zant before we started recording, about the 7 brothers and things of that sort. And it's like one brother was blaming other brothers for, other things. And then ultimately he was blaming himself because he felt like, he was the next in line, the next oldest brother in line, and he should be able to take care of people. And like Von Zant being like, but what tools did you have at that time? Or even being to the fact like, well, I would have just killed that nigga. And it's like, so what matter what that made? Like, you would have just died, and being like, well, I don't care. Like, I can die. I can put that on me.
Yeah.
But I don't want that on my family.
Yeah. And then she took it even further to be like, that's not your responsibility.
Right.
To protect your brother. That's your parents' responsibility. And if your daddy didn't do it for your brother and you was never taught how to do it, like, it just, again, it creates these generational traumas over and over again that you keep reliving. That I think is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So I know we've been talking about it a little bit heavier, but can you think about like a past relationship, Niram, or something where it took you a while to kind of move on from it? A situation from a past relationship. I know we're talking a little heavy now. We're gonna talk a little about black love. We're talking about real trauma shit. I didn't even know I was gonna go down there, but I'm trying to relate it back to like relationships where you kept kind of going back to it and repeating it. And I almost see it as people who keep dating the same person over and over again, but not physically the same person, just personality wise.
Come back to me because I gotta think about that a little bit more because like. It's hard to, it's hard, baby, when I've been with you for so long that I start to forget about the other people in the past.
Oh, are you trying to? I think you just gaming me.
I'm not gaming you, baby.
I think you gaming me.
No, but I really think about like so for example, I guess one of the things that stood out was like the baby scare.
Yeah.
And like that whole situation, and I think for me that was the time where I was like, all right, this shit gotta stop. And if this shit go the way I want it to go, or if this shit goes, whatever way that I thought was successful, I need to chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
And just being like, all right, I'm gonna go on versus me knowing other people that had like baby scares during that time where, you're mid to early 20s. And, it's not devastating when you think about it, but, it is devastating. Like you think like, shit, I'm about to have a kid and my life is over. Yeah. And I can remember just like some dudes in the situations, it'd be a baby scare and then it'd be another one, then it'd be another one. The next thing you know, this nigga got a kid and it's like, damn, nigga, did you not
learn
from the first three baby scares?
Yeah.
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 Versus me, and I was looking at that shit and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I need to change up what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah. I think that was a good example. I think more superficially. So when I was thinking of leaving stuff in the past, I think when we were maybe like 5 years in our relationship, or even recently, maybe like a year or so ago, I still have exes that would try to hit me up, and it's like, what in your mind thought that would be appropriate? So on my end, why would I ever go back in the past and go stir that up? And what they thinking, to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck with, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that's something that I've talked with other girlfriends, that it might not be necessarily maybe an ex or someone you talk to. Them DMs is a gateway to the past. So any direct messaging on social media, I think they are open gateways to the past of other relationships. Because I feel like sometimes when folks get in your DM talking crazy, talking good, you only remember the good shit, right? And sometimes you just have to be able to push through and work through that. Am I crazy?
No, that makes complete sense.
Because that's what I was saying. I've had folks, remember I even showed you there, I said, I don't even know why folks reaching out to me. They know I ain't rap type. And this is not going to end well. So those are the things I think leaving in the past when I think of relationships. But that is something I'm working with overall, right? So y'all can already tell from 2018, my theme is really forgiveness and gratitude. But it's hard to leave stuff in the past. Holistically, right? I think we can say it's in the past, but emotionally and spiritually, if it's still at the front of your head and it's ruminating, those can really fester and manifest to real negative and toxic thoughts. And I do think it breeds fear, resentment, and all the other stuff. And I think it does trickle down to other parts of your life if you really don't work through getting it done. And I think the way you got to work through getting done, y'all know I love a counselor. You got to get it out. You can't keep that stuff bottled up. You got to get either a professional counselor, you got to go to the Lord, you got to journal, you have to really get it out, because it's almost like a poison, right? So you can only hold that poison in your body so long before it either kills you or leaches out in a negative way.
Right.
And I'm a true believer. And I think that's what the past past us.
Right.
But also, I think as people of color, it's hard to balance because we were just talking about the ancestors, right? We cherish our history and our past so much. Sometimes you have to have really clear discernment what to hold on to and what to let go. So the gift of discernment is huge too.
Absolutely.
Anything else, Nero?
No.
Yeah. Want to do kitchen table talk?
Yeah, we
and
got
close us
one.
on out?
So as always, you want to submit a question for Kitchen Table Talk, shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. Remember, that's black with no K, BLAC, lovematters.com. And I think this is a follow-up, or not even follow-up, but a continuation from Friday.
Yeah.
So this is from Kiara. And the subject was mentors, and it says, hey, y'all, I was wondering if you can give us some good ways to find a mentor. I've tried looking online, but they mostly seem to be for younger girls. I'm in my mid-20s and just feel like I need some mentorship through this rough-ass life that I'm not only really prepared for, but handling. Thanks, Key.
All right. Niram is the king of that. So I'm going to let him take it, and I'll fill in the gaps.
I think this is interesting because Nyambi is always like, you always got somebody.
I don't be having fun, honey.
I think what it is allow yourself to be vulnerable around people and then asking for help. And I think that's the main thing, whatever it is.
And be willing to take no
and be willing, be okay if somebody says no. So first things first, like looking at like peer mentorship. So looking at your peers who somewhat got together and just leaning on each other, iron sharpen iron, and just figuring out like what resources you can provide them with and what resources they can provide you with, and leaning on them for support. If you're talking about like work or like career wise, I think the thing that I like to look for is finding someone who does exactly what you want to do, reaching out to them and appearing to their better side. And what I mean by that is that, you just want to reach out to somebody and be like, hey, can you mentor me? But like figure out who they are, figure out, what they like, what they don't like, something you can have a conversation with, and like just figure out that person so you can have some sort of, so you can figure out what similarities you have so you can at least start a conversation about them. And then, build that conversation, you start building that trust, then you can start going in for the kill and asking for mentorship.
Yeah.
And sometimes that looks different. Like it can be outside of your company. It might be outside of your inner circle. Hell, I've even met people like via the internet and like built relationships that way. To the point where, they gave me jobs and, provided me with opportunities that I would never had, with that. So I think that's another one. Do you have anything, Naomi?
Yeah, I think, I'm sorry. What I would speak to is that idea of reaching out to folks, and when you're getting turned down, be okay with that. Because I think that's something that I run into a lot. Like, I'll reach out to folks and they're like, oh, okay, well, good luck. And I was like, well, wait a minute, bitch. Or, like, you know what I'm saying? So really not shutting down on that. I think speaking to the vulnerability was really important, Niram, and being able to do that. And looking for mentorship in non-traditional places. So I think a lot of times as people of color, as women, we look for mentors that have to look just like us. And that's great. I always say go for that first. But sometimes you have to have mentors that don't look like you. So sometimes you have to find a white male, an Asian guy, like somebody else.
Yeah. And
know that there's different type of mentors for different things. So your professional mentor is not necessarily your personal mentor. That's not necessarily your spiritual mentor. Like, sometimes I think we're all looking for this mentor that's a fairy godmother, fairy godfather. That's everything to everybody.
No.
So they're your personal guy, they can't be that. And honestly, it's okay to have a tribe of people that's all individualized. And it should be, right? Because you want to have this whole advisory board council of people that's kind of help form you into the person you are. So I would say be open to having, non-traditional mentors. And also kind of even reevaluated what mentorship looks like. So I think in my head, I always see a mentor as someone where we can go out for coffee, we can laugh, we can, really let our hair back sometimes. And yes, for professional mentors, we can. But sometimes for professional, it might not look like that. It might be someone that when I go to conference, they kind of just letting me know what's going on and that's it. And we might not be able to go to dinner. They come to my house, but that's someone that has my back, right?
Right.
And I think it goes back to this idea of the types of mentors you need. So I think you just don't need mentors. So of course, we already talked about having a variety of mentors, personal, professional, but I think there's other groups of people that you need to be supported, right? So another group of people that I don't think we talk about a lot is this idea of having advocates. So advocates are people that you strive to be, and they might not know you closely, but they know of you. But they're an advocate because they're at tables that you want to be at, and they're mentioning your name there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to give an example.
I have one.
Oh, thank you, Neil.
No,
What's
no,
the example
I have
of an
one.
advocate?
So, I think about for the health and fitness blog that I have. There was a guy that I met that was a ex-football professional, professional football player. Liked the story, and liked that I was a black guy, doing what I did, and and just holding it down for the black guys that's out there trying to be healthy and shit. To the point where he reached out to me, and then me not really knowing and just reaching back out to him, just saying, "Hey man, like I appreciate it. Thanks for looking out. If there's anything I can do, like let me know, whatever. Just providing that thing." And he's like, "You know what? I like your interaction with me so much that I'm gonna pass your name on to my contacts." Yeah. So, he had contacts at Nike, Under Armour, different press people and things of that sort, and just reaching out to them and saying, "Hey, y'all might not know of this guy. He might not have the followers y'all want, but y'all need to keep an eye on him because he's doing something amazing. And this might be something y'all can look for the future." Mm-hmm. And with that,
that's not necessarily a mentor, right?
No, that's not necessarily a mentor. That's an advocate. And that's somebody like advocating and using your resources to be like, "Hey, this person, you need to look out for because they are doing some good stuff. And now might not be the time for them and for y'all two to work together, but keep in contact." Yeah.
And then also, in addition to advocates, I think you talked about in Nerium this idea of colleagues or peer mentorship. Really start looking at your circle. Like, who are your friends, personally and professionally, and how can y'all help each other? Like, you'll be amazed of the motivation, inspiration that you can get when you around the folks together, right? So I think all the time we always look up to the folks of, that's a little ahead of us or in areas that we wish to be, like we strive to be in. But honestly, the circle that you're rolling with now, these the folks who are going to be with you in 10 to 20 years.
Right.
Because eventually the folks above you going to age out. I used to always be my running joke in academia. They was like, "Oh, some of these crafty colonizers." I said, "It's okay. They about to die." They don't got long for this earth.
No.
They don't got long for this earth nor this retirement pension plan, right? And the goal is you really do have to focus on that community of folks that you bringing up and through, right? Yeah. So again, I think about the relationship I have with Nerium, Nia and Nadifa. Like, we do this peer mentorship amongst each other of areas that, I might be really strong in, but Nia's weak in, area that's Nia's weak in, but I'm strong in. Like, we're able to pull together our resources to really help each other, right?
Right.
And the last one is young professionals. I think sometimes we underestimate how beneficial it is to be a mentor to somebody else. Right? So I think sometimes we're always looking for the mentor, someone to help us, but you get the same mentorship and those benefits through helping the next generation. Right. So twofold, right? So that idea of reaching back, pulling someone forward with the little stuff you do know. But I always say in academia, any other field, it's somebody younger, prettier, faster, and everything else, right?
Right.
And they're helping you stay abreast on some of the things that are going on with their group, with their generation, with their colleagues, what moves they're making. Because believe it or not, you're in two different segments, right? They see you as that. They see you like, "Oh my God, I can't wait to get to where they are. Like in 5 to 6 years, I want to be there," right? So it's that two-way street of really keeping that open. So like I said, you need mentors, which are a variety of them. You need advocates. You need peer mentorship, so colleagues, and then you need young professionals. So I think if you're able to create all those types of communities, the gaps will fill in themselves. But you can't have your idea set on just one or two people that's able to do everything. You really have to have a tribe. You really have to have a village to move forward in that. And once you do have this tribe, a village, or mentor, you have to nurture that relationship. I think a lot of times folks don't realize mentorship is a two-way street. A mentor isn't there just to wave their wand to make sure everything's happy. Like, you really have to come there, and as Von Zahn and I like to my counselor say, you have to do the work. Right? They're just an advisor board. They're just bouncing ideas off. They're just telling their experiences. But it really, you have to follow up with them. When you meet with your mentor, you have to ask how they're doing. When they ask you to do something, you have to follow through on those types of things. And not only that, sometimes you have to check in with them to say, "How can I help you?" Right? Is there something I can help you with in moving forward? So Mentorship is a hard one too. I think especially for women of color, because we really look to find other women of color to mentor us. And one is hard because it's so slim pickings, right, of everyone doing the things. But also, I will say sometimes in my interactions with other women of color, especially in really powerful positions, it's not the most positive, right? I don't know where that come from. I don't know what system lived or what she done went through, but it's not always the most positive experience. I've had some of my best mentorship come from like white men, or white. You know what I'm saying? Like we're like really for folks saying no, this is what you need to do to move forward, and that's what you need to move forward. Like I'm blessed to have, I could think of like one woman of color who has been ride or die there for everybody. But the thing is, she's not just my mentor. I feel like she everybody mentor, right? She's like this gem, but she's not the norm. She's the exception. And I hope to be that change. I think that's another reason why I was in higher ed, because I see it as a duty and an obligation to do that for our next generation of girls, because that's something that I feel like I just did not have a lot. Personal mentorship, spiritual mentorship, got it. But when it came to that professional, especially in academia, it was very hard to find, I don't know the words. Is it secure mentorship or confident? Like, it's a lot of nifty niggas in academia. And it's hard to read through that, right? You're looking for a mentor that's going to be there for the good, bad, or the ugly. Not to the point where they're putting their neck on the line or anything. But if something happened, you still want a mentor to be like, you want them to help you dust off the dirt, right? Not people to run and hide. So that might have been a tangent, but
it was a good tangent.
Deflecting, projecting.
It was a good tangent. But
I'm working through my space with mentors. Like, I've only had a handful of real decent mentors, right, that I can count. But Niram, on the other hand, have had so many types of. Niram has met mentors on Twitter.
Yeah.
Niram has met one of his. You tell that story. How you met one of your advisors or your community members?
So when I was working on one of my master's degree, and I was writing this article about like bloggers and weight loss and things of that sort, and my original advisor wasn't for it. So this was in 2012, 2013. So blogging was like the it thing. But, my advisor was like 60, 70. Her ass like, ain't nobody doing this. Why would somebody write about their weight loss journey online? Yeah. So I had to end up finding somebody on my own. So I was doing some research, trying to figure out who do this type of research. And I found this person on Twitter. Yeah. I reached out to her, the same thing. Hey, I
admire the work. You're unbelieving the compliment.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the first thing I do. One of the things I always try to do is figure out how can I help them.
Yeah, and you never remember what you're going to say. I know you forget. Yeah. Never approach a mentor or a prospective advocate and you do not know what the fuck they do.
Right.
That's what I always tell graduate students who are trying to figure out new advisors and reach out to advisors. The way I would translate this, you never go talk to a faculty member not knowing their research. You don't go talk to a potential mentor or advocate without knowing what they do. You need to know. You need to do the work, beloved. You just can't go there and be like, put me on. You just don't send an email and be like, put me on.
No.
There's relationship building you have to do. You don't go on no one DMs and be like, mentor me. You don't email them, mentor me. You don't show up in their office, mentor me. No, it's actually a relationship you have to build. It has to be a connection. It is a relationship, right?
Right.
Go ahead.
So, that was the thing. And just going back to doing the work, researching a little bit about them so we can figure out where our commonalities are, giving that compliment and just saying, hey, what can I do to help you?
Yeah.
And always coming from that.
A place of how can I help you, not you begging.
Right. Because then, you had the law of reciprocating. So, when you help out somebody else, even though you're not looking forward to them helping you back, but they always, the law says that most of the time people are going to want to try to reciprocate that help back. Yeah. So, by providing. Be a form of
mentorship or advocacy. It could be something, right?
Exactly. A nicety or whatever. And that's what happened. They come to find out, she was in a university that was an hour drive away from me. So, just start doing things that show interest in who they are. So, they go speak, I'm there. I'm talking to them at the what's the name?
Yeah.
That's
a good one. Yeah, you got to go to them, find out what they're speaking, what they're doing. You show up.
Where they speaking at, where they holding webinars, workshops and shit like that. And if there's an area, go and invest in yourself and go and have that time to be like, hey, I'm near him. We talked on Twitter. Oh, hey man, what's going on? I just want to say I appreciate you inviting me out.
Yeah.
I love the work you're doing. Is there any way I can, work on a team? I would love to intern. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And
for
then,
free.
For free.
I know niggas don't like for free, but you have to be able to work for free.
Yeah.
And then the idea is by helping this person that you hope and strive to be like someday, you're going to get some tidbits, right?
Yeah.
The knowledge going to fall off, right? You're going to get little fruits, little gems just by being in the inner workings and circles and doing the work for them. Although you are doing work for them, you're learning in the process.
Right.
Yeah.
So throughout that whole process, me interning, it's like, well, I go here. It's an hour and a half drive for me to get out there. So, I'm an intern a couple days.
Yeah.
That internship then becomes a job.
Yep.
For her to be like, you've been doing this for a couple months. We got some money freeing up. We like the work that you do. Let's bring you on.
Yeah.
And that becomes a part-time job, which leads into a full-time job,
Yep.
Which leads to her being my advisor on my committee for me to do the research. So,
chain reaction.
Her being like, well, what type of research, are you interested in and things of that sort. And I was like, well, I want to do this study for weight loss bloggers and readers for my master thesis. Yeah. And her being like, oh, what, you just want to do like a survey and stuff? Like, yeah. It's like, well, let's do it here.
Come on.
And then did the research there and then went back to my advisors like, well, I already got my project done.
Yeah.
And then, that stuff lead to like bigger stuff. So that led to me getting like a big ass grant for me to do like research on like mobile apps and, weight loss apps and African Americans. And, it's just a snowball of, research. It's just a snowball
once you start walking in your destiny, once you start walking in your destiny and things you're supposed to do, opportunities start coming.
Absolutely.
To you. So once you take the first step, doors just start opening. But I think the hardest part is figuring out that first step. Sometimes when we take that first step, we want to jump already to having a full-time job and getting a thesis, but you don't know about the little steps that it took to get to that point. And I will reiterate, working for free has to be one of them.
But
to begin with.
But that situation also provided me with opportunities that I didn't even know about. So like my first social media management job, like my first job as a social media manager, my first job as a graphic designer when I was just toying around with the shit before I even took any classes. Yeah. They allowed me to do that. So, for me to even have that experience. So when I started to, go into my other master's degree and, look for other jobs, I already have those years of experience, not only for my blog, but real stuff that I can put down on the resume to say I did social media for this, XYZ company for this long. I did web design for this long. I was a webmaster for this long. And, it's those type of things that give you, your big breaks. And it really starts from like starting from the bottom. Now we're here. Yeah. But it really starts from like showing interest, putting yourself out there and giving and position yourself in a way that you there to help them. And, giving them a favor for them in turn to be like, I owe you something. Yeah. But you also got to realize that you can't expect something in return. Yeah. Like that's the law. Like, you give it in hopes that they like might karma, do something back. Like, it's like good juju, but you also got to expect that it won't come back.
Yeah, because it's some of these people that you ideally want to mentor you are fuck boys and fuck girls.
Absolutely.
I think that's what a lot of folks that I was like, oh, this would be amazing to work for them. You work for them, you be like, oh, these some fuck niggas. Oh, they crafty colonizer. Oh, they nifty niggas. They some Africans. So you have to be prepared for that and not letting that discourage you across the board. But some things also that I need to do that I've done that worked for me in the past before I really had physical mentors, I would find like celebrity mentors. Does that make sense? Like I would have celebrity mentors in my head. So meaning that, if we're thinking about Queen Oprah, I'm going to read all the books that Queen Oprah has. If we're talking about Sheryl Sandberg, I'm going to read about her journey, decisions she's made, the way she's thinking, and using these tidbits of advice that she's given and apply it to my life, right? There's a variety of ways that mentorship and decision making can help. Because that's basically what you want a mentor for, right? For guidance and helping with decision makings. And there's all types of resources out there that you can kind of put together and figure out what your next move is going to be. Right. So, I know that's a little more fluffier, but sometimes, I believe James Baldwin is one of my mentors. What I too am a witness like Baldwin. And and it's okay to do that, right? Through his readings, through his interviews, like I picked up on a lot of different things that I have applied to my life, and I would consider that something a mentor does, right? So I think it's just broadening the definition of what you consider mentorship and what it looks like. But it's hard to be a mentee too. It's a lot of work.
It surely is.
It's a lot of work.
'Cause you got to give updates and shit like that as well.
Yeah. What? I don't know if that's the hardest part, but yes, it's about constant communication.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else about mentorships, Nero?
Nah, if y'all got anything else to add, be sure to leave us an email.
Yeah, shoot us an email, a voicemail. But mentorship is huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge.
Absolutely.
All right. To submit your Black Love stories, go to blacklovematters.com. And to submit a question for Kitchen Table Talk, feel free to shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. Again, that's blacklovematters@gmail.com. That's with no K. And to leave a comment about anything we talked about today, you can do that on the blog, SoundCloud, Stitcher, any form of social media. That's BLAC Love Matters. That's BLAC Love Matters. Or don't forget, we had a voicemail. We can be reached at 508-784-1111. That's 508-784-1111. Talk to y'all later. And remember, love is ever evolving. Peace.